Good morning. Yes, I know I promised a medieval walled city this week, but instead I can offer you a desert. Los Monegros desert, in fact. Okay, it's a semi-desert, but who's quibbling? Now most people only get to see Los Monegros from that. That's the AP2. It's a motorway that cuts across the southern part of Los Monegros. But Los Monegros is famous for a few things. The first one is that it's one of the most depopulated areas of Europe. I think that's setting the tone quite well. So to give you some sort of overview, this should be about a 100-kilometre ride. I say should be because I couldn't get my Garmin to sync this morning, so I'm doing the route from memory. It should be interesting because it's about 60% gravel. So yes, I've got the gravel tyres on, I've got the flat pedals. I should be free to push up any nasty gravel hills that I encounter. And that gravel mountain, which is only it's 14 kilometres long, and it has a suggested ride time of 2 hours and 5 minutes, 7 kilometres an hour. That's not much past walking pace, so I'm expecting it to be really, really horrible. The suffering factor will be high. This, strangely enough, is the new high-speed rail link between Barcelona and Madrid, the AVE. And there it goes, the AVE, doing 180 miles an hour. It was so quick I didn't hear it coming. My word, look at this. So I know some of you are going to be pleased to know that I haven't got very much to say about today, and almost all of it is in these first 20 kilometres, because we're heading towards a town which was to have become Europe's Las Vegas, a gambling mecca in the desert. I read up on this region. Said water was a very scarce resource. A descent. Wasn't expecting this. Very welcome. Always are. Just a quick aside to other heavier riders. Have any of you ever ridden 38s on a road bike on the road? Normal 38s, not gravelly 38s. I'm just finding this incredibly comfortable. The road's a bit poor. I nearly saw there, it's terrible. But it's really comfy because I've got 38. It just absorbs all those bumps. And I'm thinking, why do we struggle on 25s, even 28s on the road when we could just swallow our pride and use 38s or something like it? Hold on, bit of a hairpin. Hairpins are exciting on these gravel tyres. They've got these knobbles on the sides. It's not a very comfortable experience, but we've got another downhill. Down a little blank. Oh, isn't that lovely? Not a day for fast descents. So I'll sit up and enjoy the view. Ah! There it is! Spain's answer to Las Vegas. There were 3 potential sites for this massive new casino city. One in France, one in Dubai, and the other one here. And jointly they decided on here. I think because the Aragon government were going to give them a lot of assistance, particularly in terms of the infrastructure. I don't know whether there was going to be a new airport or whether they were going to reuse Zaragoza and make it a bit bigger. They were certainly going to access that AVE railway connection, and they were going to put in a lot of new roads, water sources and electricity. The biggest problem with being out here It's very, very remote. And here we are in the epicenter of Spain, Europe and the Middle East's answer to Las Vegas. This is the town of, I've forgotten, Otinena. But it was going to be the site of Grand Scala. It was going to receive 25 million visitors every year. It was going to have 32 casinos and 5 theme parks. And they threw those into the mix to make it a destination leisure city for all ages. So it was going to be like Orlando with the theme parks and Vegas with the casinos, with its 500 shops and 232 restaurants and 70 hotels and parks and golf courses and 65,000 jobs to make it actually work, and another 200,000 jobs once it was up and running. So everyone was really on board, and the locals wholeheartedly went for this, because the entrepreneurs, when they heard about this venture, jumped right in and started buying up farms left, right and centre for 30 times the market value. Unfortunately, first there was the recession of 2009, and then ever since it's just been stuck. And in about 2019, I think they finally announced that it was all over. Nobody really knows quite why the Aragon government was so on board with this. They rather suspect that the 220 million that was put up front had something to do with it. I don't think so. I think they thought it was really good for the area, the economy, for jobs. It's difficult to picture. It's a stalk. Absolutely charming river. Oh, I might have to stop and go back. I keep trying to unclip getting out of these flat pedals. It's quite unusual. Muscle memory. Car? What the hell? So that's the first, well, almost the first quarter done. We haven't actually got to the desert yet. We've just seen the outskirts, the semi-desert. But soon we'll be into it proper. So I'm expecting camels, shakes, all sorts of things. Might get the shakes. I've only got two water bottles and no food. Now, I had planned to come out yesterday. Absolutely perfect conditions yesterday. For this time of year it was incredible. There was no wind whatsoever and it was just under 20 degrees centigrade. We've had a very funny winter so far. Since January the 4th we've had frosts, and that many is unusual. It's over 30 frosts, one after the next. And the daytime temperatures started at 6 and ended, like I say, yesterday at just under 20 degrees. But today it was supposed to be very cloudy. Fortunately we don't have that, and very windy. And I was just about to complain about the headwind in this section, and there isn't one. I did try and start a bit early because it's supposed to pick up this afternoon, but hopefully that might be in time to get me home. Rather lonely tree. How long it's been by itself. Now, if there's an issue with these lengthy rides into the middle of nowhere, is that, well, there isn't anything. So in the first 59 kilometres of this ride, there's one town, and we've just done it. So it's going to be over an hour before I see another bit of habitation. So now we are entering Los Monegros. Kind of looks the same. We're actually following a river at the moment, so this is about as much vegetation as we can possibly hope for the next few hours. Hoping I can zoom in on this, but hopefully the stalk as we pass through the town came out in the video. But what you can see there is a electricity mast which is actually doesn't have any wires anymore on it. It's an old one, and as a result the storks have used it as a colony, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Probably about 25 different nests on there. Fantastic. What we've been waiting for. Start the gravel. Let's go. Now there's gravel and there's gravel, and this gravel's okay. It's just that there's a washboard element to it, so you've got to go right in the verge. There's a dog at the back there just got absolutely bundled by the sheep. They're turning right here. Full headwind, going downhill at 14 kilometers an hour. As a desert, even a semi-desert, I'd say that's pretty poor going. Got a river in it, it's beautiful, it's flowing. We haven't got those around us. Look. Hermitage. Oh, it's quite a rough road. Really can see the landscape we're expecting to see a lot more of. Choosing these hard climbs. That was 10%, should have been alright, but wow, that was long. I haven't finished yet either. Sometimes it's best just not to look. Not too proud to push. I don't like it, but I'm not too proud. I've had enough. I've got another 45 kilometres to go after I get to the top of this. So I thought it's fair enough to save myself a bit. Hard enough just walking up it, to be honest. Oof. Very, very hopeful that's the top. I don't actually know which way I'm going now. There were 3 choices at the top there. I decided to go with the biggest, but I don't care, it's downhill. They were all downhill. They were all looking lovely. This one looked the biggest, so fingers crossed we're on track. Not be any trees, but you'd be hard pushed to call this desert or even semi-desert. It's like prairie, isn't it? So one thing I noticed on that climb using flat pedals is that it's very difficult to get up and dance on those pedals with normal walking shoes. They sort of collapse. I'm so used to having road cycling shoes which have got that solid base. And I do say dance in a very light fashion, because someone like Alberto Contador dances on the pedals. He sort of break dances. Mine's more of a last slow dance at the school disco where you look around and realise that there's only Mavis left and you think, oh, sod it, let's go and have a dance with Mavis, and you plod around hoping Careless Whisper will end. That's how I dance on the pedals. Now I've got my wind back, I'm absolutely loving this. You can see the road about 2 or 3 miles up ahead. It's vaguely downhill, I love it. Just rejoining a bit of asphalt. Finally got the wind behind us, so we should fly. Sort of a bit like being up on Dartmoor. Can you hear there's hardly any wind noise? They're in 40. Of course we then get some gusts, but beautiful tailwind. Looks like the sort of place that Don Quixote had sort of wandered into. Wow. It's all slightly downhill. It's fantastic cycling. It's an aqueduct. Tractor. He just finished muck spreading, and I think he must have had the whole process on GPS, as in guiding his tractor, because he was really going for his drums there, hands off the wheel, drumming away, tractor's going nice and steady and straight. Must have been, I think, a bit of GPS, a bit of AI. Knew I was enjoying myself too much. I've got a hill. I wasn't expecting it. It's the first village for a very long time. It's the, well, some would say unfortunately named Valfarta. Valley of Farts. No, I don't know what it is. Valley of something. Falta. Father in German. Valfarta is a very lovely pond. It also has, I think, the start of the next gravel section. And away we go. Just got a nasty disagreement with myself as to which way to go. There's the way that I think it ought to have been, and then there's the way with the wind directly behind me. Now, you can probably tell which I chose because there's no on the soundtrack. Yes, I've gone the easy way. Or that lovely manure. I mean, look at this gravel. It's perfect. Wait, jolty. Oh, hello. Well, it had been perfect until that point. It's pretty good, isn't it? You can probably tell we've now joined the main gravel road. It goes on and on. Wondrous gravel. Pretty lovely landscape. Big bridge. Ah, that's the Ave train. Oh, hello, big bump. That's the Ave line again. That high-speed link. All we need now is a train to go over it, perfectly timed. Nah. I may not know where I am, but I do know I've got to get onto the other side of that toll road. We're up. Had to happen somewhere. Sadly, I've got to do a little chunk on the N11. Beloved by lorry drivers, look at them all. And there above us is one of the iconic Osborne bulls. I do find it quite ironic, really, that these icons of Spanishness are actually an advert for a British company. Sherry, I think, weren't they? Now, I could have stayed on the main road, but there's an extra gravel road to the side of it, and I thought, well, it's a gravel day, let's take it. But I think I've got the most enormous tractor behind me, haven't I? I have, haven't I? He's following me, isn't he? He's chasing me. My battery's just started winking at me, so I better say goodbye for now. So, I don't know how long that was. Perhaps I'll put it in a note at the end. But I've had a whale of a time. Hope you have too. And whoa, gravel. Huh. Anyway, hope you've had a nice time. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.